Good day, my plant foldies. This is Richie at Grow Folds, and today we are going to be looking at the Lowe's location in McKinney, Texas, right off of 121 in Custer. It is 12 degrees right now in North Dallas, and temperatures are very cold for us. We're not really used to these types of temperatures, but I did want to get you guys a video this evening. I promised to have, 2 videos daily. So I got off work and now I'm heading into this Lowe's. I frequent this Lowe's often just because they always have some good plants. Thanks again to everybody who is always joining the premieres and even participating in the video premiere live chats. I love interacting with you guys, and so I hope that you guys continue to do that. So as you can see, we walked into this Lowe's and there's this little setup right here with some plants. Typically, Lowe's will do these types of setups if they have an overflow of plants. So I'm assuming they have quite a bit of plants to look at today. We have some Rhaphidophora hyi, those shingle veins, and we're just gonna walk around here. We have some ZZ plants, some Calathea, some Dracaena, some Dieffenbachia, some Yucca, and then some more Dieffenbachia right over here. These are all Costa Farm plants. Love Costa Farms, especially their trending tropicals line, as well as their exotic angels. But they always sell these nice 5-gallon potted up plants. So if you want instant gratification and you want a large plant, Costa Lowe's really produces some great house plants, good tropical plants for you to purchase. So as you can see, we passed by some Aglaonema. I love Aglaonemas. For those that are tuning into the channel, I always talk about Aglaonemas, but here we are going to be looking at this shingle vine plant. This one is for 1998. It's one of Trending Tropicals, Costa Farms. I was calling it a Monstera dubia, so thank you to this the viewer that corrected me. I should have looked at the plant ID a little bit closer. Really cool plant. I don't really have any shingle plants or plants that really need to grow on a plank, but that's a cool looking one. Right over here is a Calathea dotty. Thanks again for the viewer subscriber that gave me the plant ID for that. I'm always learning a lot from you guys, and this is 1998. Love the underleaves of Calathea. They typically have that nice purple color. These leaves of Calathea always reminded me of like peacock feathers and whatnot. But today I really had a pretty tough day at work, just because when it gets really cold, people just kind of go berserk in Texas. So I'm just glad that I'm able to unwind and look at some plants and share some plants for you guys. So thank you all for listening to me ramble about plants. I really appreciate that. And as you guys can see, we are looking at a Trending Tropicals by Costa Farms Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. Beautiful Rhaphidophora tetrasperma here. And you can see that this is a healthy plant because it's already got some new growth points and some leaves that are about ready to unfurl. So very nice. That is also for 1998. I also wanted to show you this and ask anybody, does anybody use the Miracle Grow Leaf Shine? I don't use that, but for $8.48 I might be curious to try it. I do use this indoor plant food liquid fertilizer. I use this really for my hydroponic plants or plants that have been growing in water that have like a lot of established roots. I feel like that gives them enough nutrients. And in here we are looking at Raven ZZ or ZZ Raven. This one is for 1998. And I just wanted to point out that one, the leaf right here has fell off, so you can actually cut that and possibly propagate it. But two, look at that right here. Look at the root system right here. It's very much developed and you can see some more growth points coming out. I'm definitely going to get a ZZ Raven or Raven ZZ, but I'm gonna wait to get the Trending Tropicals self-watering pots. So this one is an Aglaonema Pink Siam, another Trending Tropicals for 1998. Here's the thing. I've seen Trending Tropicals self-watering planters at Walmart, but it looks like Lowe's is still getting the Trending Tropicals in the ceramic pots. If you ask me between which one I would like, I prefer the Trending Tropicals new self-watering pots, just because they have like a water reservoir and a little wick that actually pulls the water into the soil. So there's like no chance of really overwatering the plant, and then you don't have to top water, which means bugs and pests like gnats won't really infest the soil. So I love the new idea that Trending Tropicals has, but none, needless to say, regardless of what planter you have, we can't deny that these aglaonemas are absolutely gorgeous. I love pink plants. I love pink variegation. And these are two aglaonema that I definitely have in my plant collection. I recently had one actually get infested with spider mites. I've never seen like a aglaonema do that, but that also goes to the point of we have to inspect our plants and assume that they, no matter how many precautions we have, do we physically have to look at these plants, otherwise you'll get like an infestation very quickly. So I've reprimanded or just took care of the pest right there that ended up like infesting my aglaonema. That's what I'm trying to say. But as you can see right here, we also have this beautiful Dracaena right over here for $22.98. I like Costa Farms' new logo and branding. This is a very common type of Dracaena, but nonetheless, look at the colors, look at the neon striping. It almost reminds me when, looking at that angle from above or below, it reminds me of like a snake plant almost. That would be so cool to see like a Sansevieria with that vibrant of, neon. But I did want to, pan into the leaves and give you guys a little bit more detail. And then this one is actually my favorite, Dieffenbachia. This one's for $22.98. Now, I don't know the exact Dieffenbachia plant ID for this, but what I like about it is look at the very pronounced variegation. So there's a Dieffenbachia maculata, but this one is got a lot more green. Like there's a big difference between the maculata. The maculata, it tends to just have very light leaves, and you can see that this plant is very healthy. When Costa Farms sends plants to big box stores, one thing I will tell you is Costa Farms always sends healthy plants. It is the big box stores, duty to make sure that they get unpacked in a timely manner. So like situations where, that particular Walmart, for instance, left a whole pallet for like 3 days outside. That's where you get the damage. And that's where, Costa Farms plants end up not looking healthy. I will say Costa Farms will never really send unhealthy plants like that. And then you got to think, right? You've unboxed the plants, but did we actually did the big box store actually water the plants and maintain them? So other than that, I'll get off of my soapbox on like big box stores, but look at how beautiful these leaves are. If anybody in the chat or the comment section, please give me the plant ID for this Dieffenbachia. I'm a little weary about growing Dieffenbachia just because they do require a lot of light and they are spider mite prone. They are fast growers. So that's a plus. This one is $22.98, and we are looking at some yucca right over here. Really nice looking plant. Never been really interested in yucca, but I'm actually looking at the details and look at all of this new growth that this yucca is pushing out. I find that lovely. Sometimes when you admire plants from different angles, you get a different vibe. So that's why I'm filming from below, just to show you guys different angles right here and then from the top. Oftentimes we see plants at face level or sometimes, top view, but not from the bottom. And I think, being able to admire a plant's canopy is really cool. And then we also have some more of that Dracaena right there, but in cane form. I find that just really cool that, yucca, Dracaena, they get woody as they mature. So that's really cool. Although I like that form better. So we're just going to pan over here. So obviously this is the overflow of plants. This Lowe's particularly has a lot of plants. And guys, I am filming this in 12-degree weather, and that for Texas, at least, we're not used to very cold weather like this. So I'm glad. Look at this. This is proof. This Lowe's location cares about its outdoor plants. Like they brought in their quote winter hardy plants inside just to make sure that they don't freeze over. So I love that they care about their plants, and this is a really good sign. You always want to look at plant health as a signal of whether you should buy a plant at a particular big box store. I mentioned this before. There was like a Lowe's in Little Elm where pretty much all their plants should have been on clearance just because they didn't look too great. But as you can see, they brought pretty much the entire back outdoor section into the indoor. You can see there's some alocasia over here. They're not doing too well. I mean, this weather is really cold, and I know they grow them outside over here. We're gonna actually walk outside and see what else they have out here. It looks like this Lowe's still has a couple of plants here, but I'm pretty sure that those plants are able to withstand such cold weather, like 12 degrees. But we also have some tarps covering plants. I mentioned like the ornamental kale. I thought that they wouldn't be able to, withstand that, but it looks like they might be winter hardy to where they can actually handle that. I am also in the look to get some orchid bark because Tuesday I am off and I plan to do a lot of repotting. All of those philodendron that I bought at Walmart and even Home Depot, they've been quarantined enough to where I want to repot them in nice looking planters. So I will be looking for orchid bark. I have enough perlite to mix into my soil, but I love a lot of orchid bark just because I want fast draining soil. It's always a good thing for me because I can be an overwaterer. And then here is some orchid bark right here. This is for $6.48. I actually like the Better Grow version, but I couldn't find that or it was too high on the shelf. So I'll go ahead and pick this up to mix in my soil mix. And when I do the repotting videos, I'm not sure if you plant foldies want to continue to see, repotting videos, plant care videos, aside from big box store. Please let me know in the comments below or in the chat if you want to see that. But look at this right here. We have some more plants right here. It's interesting that they brought these peach trees and cherry trees. They could actually be outside because they are now dormant, so the freeze wouldn't really hurt them. But this is what I'm talking about. This is going to give me a reason to come back to this Lowe's maybe in a day or two, possibly tomorrow. We'll see. Definitely by Tuesday to see if they unload this because this looks like it might be. It says Monday, so maybe they're going to break this pallet down and unload it. I actually filmed some Lowe's footage yesterday, but I accidentally ended up deleting it. And one thing that's really cool is Trending Tropicals has new planters that they're putting their 1497 plants. So that's something I wanted to show, but this looks like there's a bunch of exotic angels. I'm trying to break them loose. These plants are being held hostage again. Every time I see that, I want to just like free them so that way they can be sold and that way they can make their way to a nice comfy home. That's the wish I have for all plants, regardless of what type of plant it is to have a plant person, buy it at the store, nurture it, and really give it a good home. But I'm definitely going to come back for that restock. So guys, be sure to check in for the next video. But if you notice, they brought their succulents in because they're definitely not going to do well in this cold freezing weather. And then we have some urban jungle right over here. I think urban jungle planters and especially their hanging baskets are really nice, very stylish. And this is probably the best looking philodendron hederaceum lemon lime I've seen. This is for $13.98. Not bad. I would totally do that. But like I said in previous videos, I'm really looking for a Costa Farms hanging basket because Costa Farms has amazing hanging baskets, and I think I'm going to be able to find it this season. This one is a Peperomia or Tussifolia variegata. Very nice looking one for $13.98. We have this interesting croton right here. There's not a lot of variegation on it, but this is also for $13.98. We've got a calathea right over there. We got some bird's nest fern. And then we have a Homalomena. I said it right, guys. Homalomena. Shelby. Really nice looking plant. Although I've never grown this before. They do say it's slightly fussy, so it might require just a little bit more humidity. That's the thing for me. Plants that are a little bit more difficult are the ones that require a little bit more humidity and more light. Like I have nice east facing windows that brings in a lot of light, and I have a lot of windows at my home, so I do have a lot of light, but I feel like I can provide more by just giving grow lights. So I have grow lights everywhere. All of my lamps in my house are pretty much grow lights, so we'll see. Now we're gonna go pan over here, and I've shown you guys this before and I've said this before, but Lowe's by far has the best selection of different types of orchids. So we don't have just the typical orchid, we have different versions. Like this is a different type of orchid. We have Calathea orchids, we have Vanda orchids, we have Phalaenopsis orchids, and then that other orchid that I can't really pronounce the name. I find it interesting that they have these Vanda orchids in these little plastic wrappers. I love the aerial roots. That's a beautiful looking orchid right there. And then that's another orchid right over here. Really nice. This is I'm gonna go pan in on this. Look at how beautiful this orchid is right here. Now again, Trader Joe's probably has the most cost-effective orchids aside from Walmart. Walmart has cost-effective orchids, but they don't have as big of a selection. Like the Phalaenopsis orchids right here are absolutely stunning. I actually went to a orchid festival show in Fort Worth, Dallas, Botanical Gardens, and that was an experience. I do have a video of that, although there's not a voiceover. It's further down in my plants playlist if you're interested in seeing it. And then we have another Vanda orchid right over here. I find Vanda orchids so interesting because of the roots. And here is another Peperomia ortusifolia. Beautiful. The variegation is more green on green, but I'm thinking that if you give it more light, it's going to start getting the white and cream variegations. But look at this. So here's the thing about Vanda orchids. Do you notice how the roots are slightly green? If it's completely white, that means it's dry and it needs to get more water. But if it's green, that means it's getting a lot of the moisture in the air. So that's really cool. Beautiful blooms right over here. My family's from the Philippines. I'm from the Philippines, so I'm Filipino. And the one thing that I always am reminded of when looking at Vanda orchids is the waling waling. Guys, Google it. It's a beautiful orchid from the Philippines. And then we have some more hanging baskets here. This is a really cool Pearls in Jade Pothos. This one is by Urban Jungle, and it is $23.98. And then we're going to be looking at some Costa Farms hanging baskets. Like this is a really cool Scindapsus right here for $16.98. Look at that beautiful variegation. Love Scindapsus. The only thing I dislike about Scindapsus is they are slightly dramatic. Like some people think that that's a good thing when like plants like droop their leaves. That means they need water. But sometimes it gets a little annoying because I'm like, you know, you can deal with not having any water for just a second. But we talked about looking at plants from the canopy and from below. This is the Blackfoot rabbit fern. And if you can look at it from the top, you'll see the fern, right? The foliage. But look at it from the bottom. It has like almost like tarantula looking feet. There, it's kind of weird. It's kind of cute. It's kind of scary. It's all of the above. But I thought that was really cute. I've seen that a lot at my big box plant shopping tours of Walmart, but I haven't seen the undersides. This is a beautiful anthurium. This is for $13.98 by Casta Farms again. I like it. I love that, you know, the blooms remind me of like Hoya. Just the texture, it's very rubbery. It's very pretty. I actually want to get a variegated one, which is like pink and white. It's called Shibori, I think. But I ended up not winning it at an eBay bidding war. I just ended up getting outbid, so I was kind of disappointed. I'll see if I can actually get one. That's if I'm going to add an anthurium, it's going to definitely be a variegated one. Here we are looking at a teddy bear vine. I thought it was a Tradescanthia, but actually it is not a Tradescanthia. It's something else that I can't really pronounce, but as you can see, we're looking at it from a different angle from the bottom view. Super cool. I love that the undersides have that like tan texture. It's very fuzzy. That's probably why they call it the teddy bear vine. And it does need bright light, so medium to bright indirect sunlight. That's a really nice looking hanging basket right over there. I went ahead and ordered a bunch of these like 33-pound hooks that I can actually attach. They're kind of like command strips, but it can attach on the ceiling to hang some of the Hoyas that I bought most recently in my house. This is a really cool Costa Farms Training Tropicals. This is a Spathiphyllum domino, like the variegation, but if I'm going to get a Spathiphyllum, I'm going to get a variegated one that has more sectoral, like very pronounced sectoral variegation. So they actually have one called Sensation, but the best one is called Spathiphyllum Picasso. So if you guys haven't seen it, I would attach a photo. I'm still getting used to editing my videos, but Google Spathiphyllum Picasso. It's absolutely gorgeous. Here we have another Syngonium right here. I'm going to assume it's like a Neon Robusta, some type of Syngonium. I just wish there was plant IDs for that. And then we have some Kokedama. Kokedama right over here, bromeliads. Really cool as well. And then we have a bonsai right over here. We have another Vanda orchid right over here. And then we have some very dehydrated Sansevieria. They're not looking too good, but you know, that's the thing about Sansevieria. They're not as easy as people think they are because you can overwater them and also underwater them. But we're going to be panning out on some of these larger plants. This particular Lowe's has some really nice large plants. Like, look at that in the corner. That's a beautiful Aglaonema Silver Bay. We have another Dracaena right there. This is a Dieffenbachia maculata. Really like the variegation as well. And then here's another Aglaonema Silver Bay. And then we have more Aglaonema here. This Aglaonema actually has a bloom. So for the ones that are growing Aglaonema, if it has blooms, that means that the plant is mature and happy and established. But on the downside, you want to get rid of that bloom because the bloom is the plant is actually spending more energy creating the bloom versus making the beautiful foliage. So as soon as you see signs of the blooms on Aglaonema, you need to go ahead and snip them off. Unless you just want to have the bloom, but it's going to stun the growth just slightly. But yeah, here is another nice little urban jungle. I love how this Lowe's does merchandise their plants. They stripe them and put like same species of plants together. Color stories are nice. Like this one right here is a beautiful calathea. It's not a dotty, so I'm not 100% sure what this is. Is it a calathea medallion? Guys, let me know in the comments or the live chat if that's the correct plant ID. And then we have right here a Croton Petra. I believe it's a Petra. Look at how beautiful the leaves are and how they're different from each one. My import Croton, the Croton Milk, is doing okay. It's lost quite a bit of leaves, but I'm not worried just because I feel like, again, you know, sometimes you get really healthy looking plants from the get-go, but it's about getting them acclimated. So I've just been monitoring it. I'm not too worried because the stems are still green, so it's not like died. We have some more calathea here. We have some alocasia poly having some issues. It's crisping, it's curling. I don't know what that means. Does that mean they're just underwatered? And then we have a zebra plant right there. Very nice looking zebra plant. Looks like we have another alocasia, regal shields, some majesty palms, a sea of bromeliads. This is another cool calathea. If anybody can tell me the plant ID for this calathea, that would be awesome. But I like that it's just very, like the underleaves are purple and then just the stripes are really nice. We have a Spathiphyllum domino right over there, a peace lily. We have some more palm right here. This is a really nice snow white waffle plant in that planter. We have a Raven ZZ, and then we have this right here, a name I can't really pronounce. I'll put the plant ID though in the captions. Trending Tropicals plant by Costa Farms. Again, very nice looking. It almost reminds me of like a caladium. But yeah, the variegation, the veining's nice, and you can see that this is a happy plant because it's already pushing out a new growth point. We have some Sansevieria right over here, and we have this Anthurium. I would just call it chocolate because look at how beautiful the leaves are, and even the blooms. It's got like a dark color about it all around, so that's a really cool addition. It reminds me of like a Halloween type plant. We have an Aglaonema Maria here. Very beautiful. It has like hints of silver. It's shiny, it's beautiful, and it's easy to grow. So everybody, I'm encouraging everybody to get into Aglaonemas. This is another plant that I really like that I might eventually get. I just can't pronounce the name, but I do have the plant ID for that. And then we have this really nice Aglaonema. I ended up getting this Aglaonema already, but this is one where I don't know the plant ID. So for those who know the plant ID for this Aglaonema, please leave it in the comments with a timestamp, or if you're on the live premiere chat this evening, please let me know if you know the plant ID for this. This is also another Costa Farms plant in a self-watering planter. So I really like that. I ended up actually planting that or repotting it in a nice Walmart Better Homes planter. And speaking of Walmart, I will be doing a big box planter comparison. So like we're going to be doing a Walmart versus Target, which one's cost effective, which one has some nice styling, and what you can do with the planters. That's just going to be a little bit different content rather than just giving you guys big box plant shopping tours daily. I will try to do that just because I feel like that's one thing that you guys really like to see. So I will definitely keep doing that, but I'll start sprinkling some different content. This one right here is a Stromanthe Triostar. I love Stromanthes. It's part of the, part of the Calathea prayer plant type of genus family. They're finicky plants, but they're very beautiful in their foliage. And then we have another croton right here. I'm actually getting into crotons, even though I don't have the right lighting for it, but they just have some really nice colors. Here's some more hanging baskets from Costa Farms. I don't know the plant ID of that, and I can't really reach the top, or I'm just being lazy to try to take that hanging basket down. And then we're going to be looking at some lucky bamboo right over here, and then some more hanging baskets. And then right here, and we're going to go through each one. This one is a snow white waffle plant. Mine is doing very well. I love the variegation and coloring of the foliage. Here we have a Dracaena Janet Craig, not Jenny Craig, Janet Craig. I apologize for mispronouncing the plant ID. And then this one right here is a Phytonia Pink Angel. Look at how beautiful the pink veining is on this plant. I'm actually tempted to get a couple of Phytonia and maybe put it in a terrarium setting, because I actually have a lamp that I can make a terrarium, and maybe I'll just put a bunch of Phytonia in there. And then we have another croton right here. This is gold dust. I actually ended up getting one at Callaway's, much larger, in a like 6.5 inch pot for 50% off. So I ended up getting it for like $8. Not a bad deal. But I love how Costa Farms has just tons and tons of plants. Like, I'm curious to see what their propagation and like production looks like to be able to produce like the same plant. And then just ship them to like several hundred big box stores all over the country. And then this right here is an actual Syngonium. Love it. I love Syngoniums. They're my favorite. This one is a Berry Illusion. And these all are for $5.98. I forgot to mention the pricing, because I know some of you guys really want to know what the pricing is. Currently, they are $5.98. Now, if you find exotic angel plants at Walmart, you can get them for $1 less. So this one is a Dark Mystery Palea. It looks like there might be some kind of like pest there, so I'm going to put it away. And that's the thing, when I go big box plant shopping, well, let me show you this real quick. This one is really cool. This is the Juanita Phytonia. It's actually much bigger in its leaves. It's not as big as Pink Wave, but look at that compared to that Phytonia. Much larger indeed. But what I was going to say is, when I do these plant shopping big box tours, I definitely make sure that I don't have my like clothing near my my house plants, and I take a shower, because you might end up, and it sounds nasty, bringing pests in like mealybugs, thrifts, or anything. They can get on you, and then they can infest your plants. This one is a better looking Dark Mystery Palea. Love the gunmetal looking color. And then we have some more Syngonium Berry Illusions. Very, very nice. I actually ended up getting a really nice Syngonium Bold Illusion, and it started to grow really large leaves. My grandmother actually grew it and was able to propagate. This one is the Royal Hustler Ivy, or another Hydra Helix, guys. You can already tell that actually Hydra Helix are my favorite plants. I know that I always talk about like how hard they are and I don't really like them. It's really a love-hate relationship, but if you ask me, I only hate them because I can't grow them and I don't have success growing them. Otherwise, I would be all about Hydra Helix. This one is just a typical peace lily, a Spathiphyllum. Very simple, and it's interesting that a plant like this in a 3.8 inch planter can grow so large in a fast rate too. This one is another ivy. It's also listed as a Royal Hustler Ivy, but like it looks totally different. I don't think that that's the same plant as this other one. Like, you guys let me know if it's just that these are juvenile leaves. I don't think so. I just think that the plant ID is different. We will figure out what that is. So anybody who's a pro at like Hydra Helix, let me know what the actual plant ID is for that. We're going to take a look at this. I really like this croton as well. I would actually get it. This one is, I don't have the plant ID there. We're going to take a look, but look at how beautiful it is. It's got, thinner leaves, longer elongated leaves, and I love the very vibrant yellow colors. Does anybody here actually who's watching grow crotons? Let's see what that is. This is the Sunny Star Croton. Let me know what you guys do for your crotons if you grow it. And then this is just a mix of large leaf Phytonia. So we've got some pinks, some whites, very nice looking Phytonia as well. Phytonia look great. They do better than polka dot plants, I'll tell you that, but they tend to crisp too if you don't give them enough water, so they have to stay, their soil has to remain fairly moist. And then we have another one right here. This one is a red and Phytonia, and you can see the red veining of this one, very beautiful. I'm seeing more larger leaf Phytonia, like the pink wave in a hanging basket by Costa Farms is just amazing. I just think this is all amazing, in the fact that especially Casta Farms, for them to be able to produce so many plants, it would be a dream of mine to be able to like visit their facility and see their nursery and just see all of the production. So this is what I have been looking for. I'm not going to purchase this plant because it looks a little bit crispy, but this is actually a Belgian waffle plant. So they have a purple waffle plant, I have a snow white waffle plant, and the Belgian waffle plant has more like tan cream variegation with subtle pinks and purples. Very nice. I want to have those three eventually, and I actually want to get a smaller pot, not this bigger size ones. These are all $7.98, the ones we're taking a look at. And then we have this Begonia Rex right here, another Spathiphyllum. We're passing by Croton. This is the Hydra Helix, but this delicate looking Hydra Helix is just called Ivy. There has to be a cultivar name for it, but it's just called Ivy. So Costa Farms, let's come through and actually, you know, plant ID all of your exotic angels. I would really love that. I think a lot of our plant enthusiasts would really love that. Like for instance, this one is called Beautiful Home Decor. Or no, this one's not the one. This one's a Garland Ivy. So remember how the other one was also listed as like Royal Hustler Ivy? This one is the Garland Ivy, so maybe somebody just mixed up the tags. That sounds more like it. And then this is called a Philodendron Brazil, but I would call this a more reverted Philodendron Brazil because there's literally one leaf with like a streak of variegation. This is more of just like a typical cordatum at this point. And these are all $7.98. And then we're going to be looking at the Balforiana Aurelia, or the variegated Aurelia. Very nice looking one. This was for $5.98. I rescued one of these actually at a Lowe's a couple of weeks back. I ended up getting it on clearance for $1. So we're still working on it. It hasn't lost its leaves, but it hasn't grown any new leaves either, and it hasn't been infested by pests, so it's doing okay. And then this is a really nice looking begonia as well. I've seen this Begonia Rex a lot every time I go to Lowe's. This is a really nice looking croton right here. I like that it has curly leaves and then the bright red. This is a Mame croton. Very nice looking one. You know, that's the thing about plant collecting. You find a genus and then all of a sudden you just want to like collect it all. It's not always possible though. So this is the one that says Beautiful Home Decor. So I'm not sure what that is. That looks like a Fatchidera. Actually, not a variegated one, just a regular Fatchidera. And then we have another Balforiana Aurelia right over here. And then we're just going to look at some more plants. This one is the infamous purple waffle plant that has tempted me to purchase one every time I go to Lowe's. But I am proud of myself. Just, you know, spoiler alert, I didn't end up buying any plants today. It is too cold to the point where like I feel like if I bought a plant and just walked it from outside, like inside Lowe's into my car, that it would suffer some leaf damage. So that's not a good idea. This one right over here is another Belgian waffle plant in a smaller planter. This one looks a little bit more healthy. I just don't think I need to be buying plants, especially when it's 12 degrees outside. There's not a lot of protection for the plants. And then here we have a Galaxy, Olympia False Aurelia, Olympia False Aurelia right over here. This is for $5.98. And actually this is an absolutely gorgeous Hydra Helix. This is called Wonderful Ivy for $5.98. What I like about Wonderful Ivy is the new growth comes out more like yellow variegated, and then it hardens to a very delicate cream color. I also like that the leaves remind me of like a trident maple. Have you ever seen the trident maple called Misayama? It's a dwarf trident maple, and it reminds me of that. That would be so awesome to see like a trident maple with that type of variegation. I'm tempted to get this Hydra Helix for my Hydra Helix challenge. So we'll see if I go back here, but you see there's already some brown crisping on that. That's one I would not pick up, because when you see brown crisping, it could be one thing, and that could be spider mites. Let me know what you guys think if that's the case. But yeah, Hydra Helix challenge, I might do that. Here's another Begonia Rex. I think this is Begonia escargot. I'm not 100% sure, but I really do like the gray silver leaf, silver foliage. And then here is another Belgian waffle plant for $5.98. Exotic Angels are nice starter plants. I think they're great, but again, it's a matter of how many plants we end up buying and consuming for our collections. Oftentimes I see them getting chucked in the trash, and it's really sad. I don't know. I just have a really soft spot, guys. I don't know if you plant foldies also agree. When you look at like big box stores, they're very cost effective. It's fun to find like nice treasures. But then when you think about how much overage, like how many plants get thrown away, or how many of them like decline in health because we don't have like proper plant care, it's kind of depressing. So, but I don't want it to be a depressing video. I definitely think, you know, we should celebrate the fact that, hey, number one, you guys are getting big box plant content daily. So again, I really appreciate you guys visiting my channel, participating, commenting, sharing, and just interacting with me. I do have a new IG account that I created for this channel called @Growfuls. Please follow me there. I will be posting my personal plants and just a lot of other additional content that I don't end up getting on YouTube. But as you can see, there is a palette right over there. I will definitely visit that on Tuesday. I'm sure they might unload tomorrow, so I don't know if I just want to come visit tomorrow. We'll see, but it's supposed to be super cold in McKinney, North Dallas, Frisco area. But this is the Lowe's I frequent off of 121 in Custer. Again, thank you so much everybody for tuning in. The premiere live chat and plant foldies. You guys stay safe. I'm gonna try to stay warm and binge watch some Survivor tonight and make it to work tomorrow. But you guys stay warm, and thanks again for supporting my channel, Growfuls. I'll see you soon. Bye.